Every spring around this time, UCI has ASUCI elections. Currently, we have 3 of the 4 members running for vice presidents of various offices. How did you guys end up just deciding to campaign together?
Well, we first decided to run when we had students approach us asking us if we were going to run for office. And so that was what first got us interested in running for office, that we had students who already believed in us just based off our own merit of working hard in the office already. And so we all got together, we discussed our platforms and our goals for next year, and we decided that, the 4 of us get along really well together, and we would love to work together next year as a group so we can really get things done.
So, Rachel, you're running for Executive Vice President of ASUCI.
Yep.
Could you tell me what the duties of the Executive VP are?
Okay, so basically what the Office of the EVP does is we focus on external advocacy issues. So anything that concerns student rights or the budget, we talk with the California State Legislature, and we communicate with them to ensure that students are protected in terms of like what they can do and how much they pay and all that good stuff. So
very important. People don't want to be paying money. It says here that you actually helped save the Cal Grant last year.
Yes. Basically what we did was, so we are part of this organization called UCSA, which is an umbrella organization that encompasses most of the UCs, and we wanted to save the Cal Grant because a lot of students get the Cal Grant. I think over 50% of us do, and that was really important that that students are able to afford going to school, and it's not because it ultimately University of California is a public institution, so yeah, just make sure that we pay public fees.
Very important stuff.
Definitely.
Genevieve, you are running for Admin Affairs Vice President.
Yes.
Could you tell us what the Admin Affairs Vice President does?
So basically, the Vice President of Admin Affairs serves as a liaison between students and administration. So basically my position would be connecting students with administration. If there's a problem with any of the services offered through UCI, such as parking, housing, and dining, then that student would come to the Office of Admin Affairs, and the Vice President would work with the student and administration to resolve the problem.
And I imagine you'd be pretty popular with freshmen that have to deal with the dining commons, yeah?
Yeah, I'm sure, yeah. There's a lot of things that I plan on changing about dining next year as well. So.
Do you expect to get any, negative feedback from people who kind of fed up with parking?
I'm sure, yeah. I've already campaigning so far this past 2 weeks. I've had people come up to me asking about changing certain things about parking next year.
Well, Jun, you're running for Student Services VP.
Yes.
And what are the duties of that?
So the Office of Student Services is in charge of all the student programs that are put on campus. So anything from comedy night, noon tunes, Ways Goose, Welcome Week, Shocktoberfest, Reggae Fest, Homecoming, all the external campus events that are put on is done through the Office of Student Services.
Are you looking forward to kind of having a more fun job than these two, maybe?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we definitely are more, visible towards the student body, but we equally put in so much work, all the different offices, supporting the needs for the students in different ways.
Sounds good. So, I guess our last question here is what vision you guys have for ASUCI next year? So we'll start with you, Jun.
Okay, well, some of my goals for next year, first of all, for Shocktoberfest, I know that's one of the biggest events here that we offer to the students. I want to relocate Shocktoberfest out to Crawford Field, just because there's so many limitations in the Bren Event Center. I feel that every UCI student should be able to go if they want to, and a lot of students get turned away every single year because they have to wait in line at 3 a.m. just to find out that they don't get wristbands to get admitted into the event. So by relocating it out to Crawford Field, there's basically no capacity. The Bren only holds so many people. So this way, all the students that are paying for the fees for ASUCI that goes towards Shocktoberfest are able to go. And a couple other things I want to change. I want to try and help get bigger and better artists for our concerts for Ways Goose, Shocktoberfest, Welcome Week concert, and Reggae Fest. And I can do this by utilizing my resources with my internships. Actually, most recently, I just finished my internship with Creative Artists Agency, which is the #1 talent agency in the nation. So I actually sat down and talked with the talent agent that does the booking for college tours, and I'm hoping to work with him in order to book bigger and better artists with the same budget that we have.
And they're agents for Oprah, Dave Letterman,
Justin Timberlake.
Okay.
all these, Denzel Washington,
yeah.
Ludacris.
So they represent a lot of big names. Obviously, we wouldn't be able to get Beyonce, Miley Cyrus, Justin Timberlake, or Justin Bieber, but we do represent all of them. But some of the more feasible artists that we do represent is, like Ludacris, that's more within our budget. Obviously, it wouldn't be able to, but utilizing my resources with the talent agency, I think it would be more feasible. And also, I want to implement a new event at UCI, which basically strives to promote and increase the morale here at the university, unifying the student body, and also encouraging collaboration between different clubs on campus. And that's not strictly with multicultural clubs. It's kind of bridging the gaps between multicultural clubs, Greek life, community service clubs, and so on.
Sounds like you have a lot on your plate.
Yes, definitely. And there's a lot of other different stuff. And we have a website, actually, so you can actually check out voteworkhard-playhard.com, and you can get the full layout of our vision for all 4 of our offices.
Well, speaking of the other offices, Genevieve, what's your vision for as the Admin's Affairs VP?
So basically, Admin Affairs deals with parking, housing, dining, TGIF, ROAR, legal clinic, and any other service provided to UCI to students. And so one of the main things I want to change next year is about dining. So freshmen do not have unlimited guest swipes, and I think that they should be able to have unlimited guest swipes because they pay for those swipes with their own money. They should be able to do what they want with it if they want their friends to come eat with them.
So, just I guess this is a very popular issue, and
definitely, yeah. I've heard a lot of good feedback from students about the school that I have. So
would that use, I guess, their meal swipes that they actually pay for, that they could then choose to use for themselves and guests?
Yeah, exactly. So if they have 300 meal swipes, they can use 200 if they want to swipe in their friends.
Because they universal meal swipes.
Exactly, and I would.
Okay.
So since my position is admin affairs, I'd be working with administration to get this implemented. And other goals that I have, having more shuttles run throughout the night, because my position also entails dealing with the shuttle services. So at night, students wait an hour, after 7, just to go home, up the street to VDC or Norte. And so I'd like to implement more shuttles running throughout the night, so students don't waste their time waiting for a shuttle and don't get left over, when there's not enough room in the shuttles.
And do you imagine the shuttle service having enough staff for that? And
that's one of the things I plan to work on. Yeah,
more hours, possibly.
Exactly, making more hours, getting students to make having more revenue for the students. Because the money goes directly to the students who are bus drivers. So it'd be helping the students and also be helping the bus drivers as well. Other things I want to change. I hope to get parking on campus after 5 for students who live in Norte, VDC, and Camino, and who have parking passes. It's a privilege granted to AV students. They're able to park after 5 on campus in CT lots, and we all pay the same amount of parking for $2.25 a quarter. And so I think those students should also have the right to park on campus after 5. So those are the main goals. I have a lot of other little goals. I'm the commissioner. Also on the side, I have a lot of goals. One of the main things also about dining, I plan to put more healthy, vegetarian, and vegan options on campus. I'm actually working currently with Irvine Anteaters Against Animal Cruelty in implementing more vegan and vegetarian options. And for all those health freaks out there, getting more healthy foods, because right now there's not enough for students.
Yeah, interesting. I actually have a friend who turned vegetarian because of the meat served at Pippin's. So
yeah, definitely.
Very popular.
Yeah, definitely.
That's good.
Well, Rachel, as executive VP, what are your visions for ASUCI next year?
Well, I have been in the office of EVP for about 2 years now, and I've seen a lot of things happen. I think the biggest thing is that in the past year, we've seen nearly a 40% increase in terms of fees. I don't know, if any of you, I think you're both third years, there's the jump in fees has been completely astronomical and completely ridiculous too, because we go to a public institution and we shouldn't have to pay this much. So what I want to focus on is mostly just talking with legislators and building relationships with them and talking about what we can do or where we can find the money to protect accessibility of higher education. So yeah.
Well, it's been a pleasure having you guys here. Viewers, remember to vote in the ASUCI election, and it's very important, as we've seen here, the issues that all the candidates are bringing up and addressing are very relevant to our campus. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and leave here with that, and back to you in the studio.